Hey there, it's Dr. Tony, and I want to ask you about why y'all think you can go to the next level and keep the same people. Why is it that you can have perfect strangers treat you better, you vibe better, you connect with each other better than people who have known you your whole entire life that you've gone through all kind of struggles with? How is that? Well, there's a lot of reasons why, but I'm gonna warn you that if you think you can come to someone like myself, right, and build this beautiful dream and not look around to your left and your right, that's not a good idea. So instead of us building this beautiful life that everybody wants, suddenly you have all these new friends or old ones trying to cling to the old you. I just want to have a conversation with you about it. So, this series is all about the real self care. When I come on here and give you this real talk and conversation, it's about what real self care looks like. It looks like you being authentic, it looks like you having confidence in yourself and what you're doing and where you're going. In order to do that, you're gonna need to be able to be vulnerable. And it's not easy to do that if the wrong people are in the room with you. So when y'all think you can keep all the same old people and the old ideas and the old thinking, I'm warning you that you need to look at who's in your top five. Where do you spend the majority of your time? You're the culmination of the five people you spend the most time with. And if those people are stuck, if those people have old ideas that don't apply to you, if those people have different outlook on life, if they have bruises and wounds that are unhealed, how do you think that's going to affect you? So I want to challenge that thinking right here, right now, before you build the next level and before you arrive at your next destination. Because if you do it now, maybe you won't have such a difficult way to go. But if you don't look closely at who's at your left, who's at your right, who's on your back, then you're going to be shocked and spend way too much time dealing with the fallout when you are supposed to be enjoying the fruits of your labor, the empire that you built, the money in the bank, the trips and things you want to take. Suddenly, you now have to make very difficult decisions. So let's just have the conversation before you get there. How they treat you isn't as important as how you feel. Why do I say that? Because let's give an example. One summer, I trained at Betty Ford Center, which, as you know, is an alcohol and addiction treatment center out in Palm Springs, California. And as an insider, shadowing the experts, one of the things that I decided to do was vote myself into the family program. I wanted to see how the people who work with the addicted person, how are they feeling? What are they doing? What can they do to help, if you will? And I got to see both sides of the story that way, as opposed to just spending all my time with the person who has fallen into this terrible circumstance. Okay. And a lot of things were poignant about that experience. And one in particular is when I would go to the AA meetings, like the Alcoholic Anonymous or Narcotic Anonymous meetings, as part of my training program. Okay. If you're coming in on replay, let me know. If you're coming from different corners of the world, let us know where you're watching from. I love to see that. All right. Make sure you can hear me, right? Is my microphone on? Okay, good. But super important to, as part of your system, when you're trying to go from this level to the next level and beyond, it's important to look around at all the people who might have been there when you weren't doing so well, when you were, in this case, an alcoholic or on drugs or whatever. Those people that were around you either co-signed that bad behavior, were a part of the party, or they still weren't, necessarily. Some people were loyal, some people were there for you and all that, and you weren't listening. But my point is, you need to now evaluate, are those people team Tony or are those people team party? Okay. Some people want to keep their old ideas and habits, and you've moved on. And I want to kind of make it a deeper conversation. So I'm going to say to you that when you get clear on a few things, your core values start to be evaluated. You start thinking, well, what is actually important to me in this life? What actually is going to be my guiding light in this world? And unfortunately, you might assume that loyalty is the goal. Do you understand? You think that because they rode with you through the storm, because y'all been, from the same area, you've been walking side by side in parallel, they supported you when you were down, that they automatically get penthouse level, VIP level access when you get where you're going. You with me? That isn't always the case because of where you choose to go. They may actually not be the right person to keep in your top 5 because of their limitations. It may not be personal, but your core values will determine who's going to be in the room with you, who's going to be willing to chill while you focus on what's important to you. You're building something magnificent. You're serving the world with your gifts. But if you get distracted or you get the wrong people, it's going to be a problem. So I want us to talk about those core values, and respect comes up when I ask people about core values. Loyalty comes up. Authenticity comes up. Like, hey, I don't want to forget where I'm from. They were with me back in the day. I wouldn't be here without them. That's true. But now that it's time for you to step into the ballroom, the boardroom, to pitch this $1 billion idea for you to get this new money. Yeah, wrong people can be distracting. You see what I'm saying? The wrong people can be distracting, but the wrong people can also have you doubting yourself when you need to push forward. The wrong people can have their fears projected into your plan. You understand? They also can want a lot of time that you just don't have anymore. They want you at every function. They want you at every event. They think that because you used to do X, Y, and Z, you should be able to make time for them because they're important. But what's important to you now is to focus on what is on your heart to build or what is on your heart to do. And so just because they gave you love and time and attention at that critical time in your life, it doesn't necessarily mean that they are on the same page with you and that they respect the new version of you that's coming down the pipeline. Some people just want to remember where you came from and keep reminding you of the old you, but it's not going to work out for you. What if your value is freedom and flexibility and independence and autonomy, but they want you clinging to them? They will try to put holes in all your dreams, all your plans, all your ideas, okay? I'm so afraid that some of y'all don't understand that could be people you love. It's not personal. You don't love them less, but if you want the freedom to live the life you are signing up for, don't assume that they are willing to do that level of growth at the pace that you are. You wrote down, you got your stuff, you come to me, people come to me with these consults, these wonderful ideas, or I'm like, let's go build it. And they do it in record time, but it's not going to happen if you don't get your mind right on who belongs with you on the journey and what role they might play. Y'all want to bring everybody with you because you think loyalty is a top value. And I promise you, it's a nice idea, but respect is probably more useful in the long run. So I'm going to say loyalty versus respect. You see what I'm saying? If they respect what's important about this next phase, they may not be a distraction, but there's going to be a lot of problems if you're not facing it head on and having some truth in your heart about what it's going to take. And sometimes you don't know, but as you get in that room, you start to realize, man, this person doesn't seem to be the right fit. That doesn't mean they get cut off. It does mean you have to make some difficult decisions. And I don't want you to have to make them when your focus should be elsewhere. Do you want to get there efficiently or not? I have people who coach with me for periods of time because what they're building keeps working. So we have to keep making adjustments, and they're like running for their lives trying to keep up with the pace. But the other people around you, you might need a new top five. Okay. If you're a champion, a coach is part of the plan. Not every coach is right for everyone, but I already got my running shoes on. I'm about to go work out now with a baby sleeping. You know what I'm saying? I got the baby monitor here and everything. My husband had to run an errand. So I'm like, well, let me go on ahead and put this baby monitor. It's the weekend. We're about to have some family time. But we respect. He's like, oh, yeah, you have to do that conversation. You have to do that live stream with your people. Yes, absolutely, I do. Because they're part of my commitment. They're part of my future. They're the gift that was given to me to build something important, which is the lives of people who serve other people. If we don't make sure that you're a top priority, you often don't. You put other people before yourself, your needs, and sometimes the calling on your heart. That's not going to work. So let's make sure that your top five is filled with the right people who want to help you keep your money, people who want you to make the right investment, people who understand that investment includes your time, your money, your energy. If you want to protect your peace and your future, this is going to require you to keep on your toes and be reevaluating all the time. Who belongs here with me? What is needed here? What is next? And what do I need to get while I'm here so that when it's time to level up, I have everything I need and the right people are in the room? And hey, you might have to go into some rooms alone and meet them, but don't bring baggage. Boom. Your core values should include lifelong learning and wisdom. And you should be okay with some mistakes along the way. But I just want to help prepare you for what will happen if you refuse to accept this truth early on in the dream, in the trenches of your life. You can't rely on everybody else to be where you think they should be. And I don't want you to think this is unusual for people who love you. They can love you but not be necessarily on the same path. When I went to medical school, a lot of I really didn't share it with a lot of people because it was part of my exit plan for the life that I no longer felt was acceptable for me. I was settling. I decided I wasn't doing that anymore. So I just went back to my original plan, my original dream, and lickety split, I was off to medical school. I kept hearing all this fuss around me. Oh, negativity, questioning my decision. They weren't in the top five, so I won't worry about it. People who really love you, they don't even feel offended because they respect how you move and how you make your decisions. You understand? If they got to keep questioning you, if they want to interject their fear, if they need you to convince them that what you're doing is right for you, you might be in the wrong room with the wrong people. And they sometimes could be a spouse. It sometimes could be siblings, right? They may not understand it until you build it. Write that down. They may not understand it until it's done. So if you are constantly waiting for a cosign, you are going to get your feelings hurt. Not everybody's a visionary, babe. Period. And if you can't get around the people who uplift you, support you, reinforce your vision when you are weak, when you are hurt, when you are unsure of yourself, when your imposter creeps in, it's going to be an uphill battle and the energy is wasted in the wrong spaces. All right. So just remember that core values require you to maybe move a little differently. They change depending on who you become. And you also need to be clear that keeping one set of rules on how you move and think is going to help you avoid the landmines of loyalty. Loyalty versus respect. Just remember I told you that because some people, they just not going to fit in some phases of this journey and you may have to move on. But I just don't want y'all to get so far into the project and then start asking me these questions because it's going to happen, Oh man, I thought. Don't be surprised. It's normal. And your fear, trepidation, or hesitation is also normal. But I need you to keep going because what you're building is going to help save a lot of lives and break a lot of generational curses. It's Dr. Tony, your board certified physician, certified executive coach, who is here to help you to keep on your goal and be authentic to yourself unapologetically when the going gets tough. But the life you're building, the career that you're diving into, the business you're thinking of is all valid. It's just going to take a little more energy, effort, time, and the right people in your life. If you want to talk to me, get on my schedule as soon as possible because what I'm building is going to require a lot of my time and attention. And I'm trying to offer y'all a window of opportunity by giving you these daily coaching tips while I can. All right. It's been my pleasure. We'll talk soon. drtonymd.com/talk. See you soon. Next conversation this week, they requested imposter. And we're also going to give a little bit gritty about what you need to be saying to yourself to stay on track, what you need to be doing to create a path that will keep you unstoppable. Take care.